Hoffman, and I'm a contributor of Abolish, the Slave Patrol, a documentary that will crack open the door on a hidden truth about our present. It's a truth about the roots of something too many of us take for granted: American policing. We like to believe our systems evolved organically, but Abolish, the Slave Patrol, exposes a chilling reality. It shines a light on the dark history of slave patrols and those brutal armed groups formed centuries ago to enforce slavery and control foundational Black Americans. Their legacy isn't buried in the past. It's woven into the very fabric of our modern police forces.
Blessed risings, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where in the world you are tapping in from. You got to keep in mind that Keep It P podcast is a global show, and today on this episode of B1 Distractions, we will be discussing race in the ball. Why do predominantly white states lack pro sports teams? You ever thought about that? Huh? You ever? Iowa, Montana, Idaho, Washington State, Nebraska. Huh? And when I'm talking about pro sports teams, I ain't talking about hockey. I'm talking about football and basketball. You know, them sports you Negroes play. That's what I'm talking about. By the way, if you are interested in that documentary that played in the intro and that's currently scrolling across your bottom of the screen, Abolish the Slave Patrol documentary is out now via Patreon. You can find the link in the description. See, I know you guys don't understand where I'm going with this, but we'll dig deep down into this right after these brief messages.
Warning, you're about to be distracted. Distractions. Distractories. Distractalozo. Dis on a stunted side of a game. Distract upon. Super distraction. Grand distraction. The ultimate distraction.
Let's dig deep into this. The question is, it's race in the ball. Why do predominantly white states lack pro basketball and football sports teams? I'm going to give you the short and the quick answer before I break it on down. They don't want no reason for you Negralities to come polluting their communities. We doing fine without you, Wyoming. See, it goes across that whole top. From Minnesota, just look at it. Nebraska, North Dakota, Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, Washington, all across their borderline with Canada, Iowa, and of course you got your few down southers, Mississippi, Alabama. We ain't talking about them, but you can throw them in the mix, but they're not predominantly white. You know, I guess you got black cities, I guess, and the state as a whole. But I don't think they're predominantly white. I don't know, but I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about what I know. And that's what we're going to talk about on this show, on Keep It P podcast. We speak what we know, what we done did research on, what we got our knowledge wrapped around, what we got the pulse on. That's the problem. Y'all be going around uplifting these other old booty shows and they just say whatever come out the side of their mouth. Don't even be making no sense. Hello, McFlizzle. Not trying to tell you what to think, trying to show you how to think. Y'all be going to them other programs looking to be a mindless drone and just let them throw up in your mouth like a baby bird and chew it up and regurgitate the little garbage that they done spewed into you. You don't even have a rhyme or a reason of what you saying. You don't even know why, because you ain't come up with it. You just following the trends. And the discussion surrounding the lack of professional basketball and football teams in predominantly white states like Montana, Idaho, and Iowa has sparked a conversation that goes far beyond the realm of sports. Like I told you, it ain't about the sports. While factors like market size and fan interest undoubtedly play a role, a deeper issue emerges: the historical and ongoing struggle of foundational Black Americans, FBA, to build and sustain their own communities without y'all coming over there and interfering. A legacy of destruction. The mention of cities like Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Rosewood, Florida, serves as a stark reminder of the horrific past. These once thriving Black communities were brutally destroyed through acts of racial violence and hatred. Yeah, we had thriving cities, like how y'all try to have your states with no Black team, not even a Black team. Like it'll bring money, it'll stimulate the economy. No, we cool, whatever. We just want to keep our community pure and whole to ourselves, and we don't even want to bother nobody. We just over here doing us. Just leave us alone. Ain't that how we was? That's all we want. That's all we want. We don't need your distraction of sports and all of that. And that's cool if you want a Negro games. If you want a buck breaking session, I guess, if you want to beat down, let's Negro on Negro, mano y mano, Negro versus Negro for the slave master games. Do your thing. I ain't saying I don't know how to hoop at a high level. I ain't saying I don't know how to play football, not as high as a level, but yeah, collegiate hoop, yeah, it happened. I'm just saying, gave me opportunity to get an education, but it gave me in more ways than one. In dealing with the what society. So we had these bustling Black communities that y'all destroyed. This history underscores the need to address not just the present lack of opportunity, reparations, see, from the past and from the present, right? Because you still eating off of that. You still skeeting off of that. That's it. You systematically dismantled Black prosperity all throughout American history. This is what you have done. But see how you don't mess with them white communities all up on the northern coast, if you will, borderlining with Canada. We'll help you. We'll help you keep it pure. Plus, it's cold up here anyways. Them darkies don't really like the cold. Here, stop them at Minnesota. They can stay over there at, Michigan, but they're really not in the UP. You got Minnesota, you got Michigan up around the yonders. Then you're trying to skate up with New York and Ohio, and don't let them nod. I said we can't let them get any more west or no more northwestern voyages. No, I ain't saying Washington State don't have no Black people. They got a little population in Seattle, but ain't nobody trying to mess with Seattle with all the rain. That old miserable Mayo conclave where it rains mayo on a daily basis. No, thank you. Reparations, a catalyst for empowerment. The concept of reparations is also framed solely as a means of financial compensation for past wrongs. However, reparations can be a powerful tool for empowerment. So when y'all say it ain't just about money, yeah, it ain't just about the money after you cut the check, because we'll be able to build communities. Yes, that's right. It'll enable FBA communities to rebuild and chart our own course for the future. Imagine thriving, self-determined communities with the infrastructure, schools, hospitals, and police forces that best serve our unique needs. What's unique about our needs? Because we don't want to be getting slapped all upside the head, killed, shot, brutalized by the people that's supposed to protect us. That's why it's unique. We're not really asking for nothing special, but y'all make it seem like it's so special for you not to kill, maim, and pillage. You know, you're going out your way. If I ask you, just be a compassionate human. But when you're dealing with animal DNA, I'm just saying, animalistic behaviors are going to show. They're going to show. You can't hide your animal instincts, your rage forever. The question of professional sports teams transforms from one of exclusion to one of choice, right? Right? So these communities, these white communities have chosen. Nah, we don't want that over here, P. We don't want that. We don't want no little nigglets over here. We don't want your little basketball hooping jungle bunnies humping on our Baxters. We don't want that. We trying to keep our lineage pure over here, as pure as possible. You know, we're gonna let some Latinos come, because they go anywhere. They're just anywhere they can go. They're just anywhere they don't even gotta be welcomed. We can come over there. You ain't gonna treat us too bad, is you? I mean, we'll take a little bit of abuse, you know. Can I get a couple dollars? Can I hump on your women? You know you can hump on ours now. You know you could trade for a trade. Trade for a trade now. I'll give you some of this if I can get some of that now. This or that now. Let me get some of that. It continues, with the resources from reparations, FBA communities would have the autonomy to decide if and how sports fit into their vision. They could choose to establish their own leagues, cultural centers focused on different artistic expressions, or pursue entirely different priorities entirely. The power of self-determination is paramount. Choice, control. See, I know you don't know nothing about me. See, you cue the violin, because as soon as we start asking for something, but this should just be a human choice, control, choice of one's own life, control over one's own life. These are things Mayoitis takes for granted, and this is that privilege. What a privilege. I ain't got no privilege. What the privilege look like? It looked like choice and control. That's what it looked like. So next time somebody asks you, what's your white privilege? What is that? What that look like? besides money, it's choice and control that you get from your economic windfall, basically. Beyond the game, closing the racial gap. This extends far beyond the playing field. It's about acknowledging the historical and ongoing impact of race on opportunity and wealth in America by empowering FBA communities to build their own infrastructure and institutions. We can begin to address the systematic issues that contribute to the racial wealth gap. Like all them systems you got in play, but if you was to cut the check, ultimately, the conversation about professional sports teams in rural America, in what? America, is a microcosm of a larger issue. It's about creating a level playing field for FBAs, fostering economic growth in FBA communities, and acknowledging the historical and ongoing impact of race, being Black, being FBA in America. The focus must shift from simple integration to true empowerment. Right. Always trying to make us go and can we all just get along? You don't say that over there to any of them other states. They doing their own thing and you leave them alone. You don't hear about them. You don't hear about nothing. You don't hear about nothing in Idaho. It's like they don't got no news, no nothing unless you live in that community. Look, the whole state a community. You don't hear nothing about Wyoming, Montana. Nope. Doing their own thing. By enabling FBA communities to build their own futures brick by brick, then we can move towards a more equitable and just society for all. Then possibly for all. But until FBA is included, there is no for all. It's F all of y'all, and it's just about us. Be one, brothers and sisters. What did we learn here today, boys and girls? I just told you, be one, brothers and sisters. That's it. That's all. Get on code, y'all. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm just gonna mold you, fold you, and scold you about being off code. Gonna leave you with 4 words as we always do around this time. Subscribe for the vibe, like for the spike, comment your vomit, share if you care, if you dare to get Black empowerment everywhere. And where might that be? On all the platforms: YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook. Come and take a look. Love, peace, blessings, and aloha. Gotta go high for sure high. You already know how. Big Brother Light Bright Supreme Almighty signing off.
Warning. You're about to be distracted.